Stop right there, my child. Do not move another inch, and do not let your finger swipe away from this moment, for this encounter was carved out of the foundations of eternity specifically for you. I have seen you standing on the precipice of your own strength, looking down into the abyss of exhaustion and wondering if anyone truly sees the silent war you are fighting within the walls of your own heart. You have felt the cold wind of despair pulling at your spirit, and you have heard the shadows whispering that it is far too late for a miracle. But I am here to tell you, as the Alpha and the Omega, the one who counts the stars and knows the very number of hairs on your head, that I have stepped into your timeline today with a divine mandate. This is not a coincidence of an algorithm. It is a rescue operation designed by my own hand because I heard your cry when you thought no one was listening. Your soul is at the very edge of its capacity, brittle and weary from the weight of 1,000 unspoken burdens. But hear me now. My hand is faster than your fall, and my grace is wider than the darkness trying to swallow you whole. I have watched you in the quiet, suffocating hours of the night when the rest of the world is asleep and your mind becomes a battlefield of what-ifs and not enoughs. I saw the tears that didn't even make it to your cheeks because your heart was too tired to even weep. I have felt every sting of the betrayals you've endured and the heavy pressure in your chest that makes it hard to breathe. You have tried to be strong for everyone else, masking your crumbling spirit with a smile that doesn't reach your eyes. But you were never meant to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. That is my role, not yours. I am the great I am, and I am reaching through this sound and these words to pull you back from the brink of your breaking point. You have been running on empty for far too long, trying to navigate a desert without a map. But today, I'm declaring that the season of your aimless wandering is coming to an absolute close because I have found you exactly where you are. Listen closely to the resonance of my voice within your spirit, for I am calling you out of the shadows of your past and into the blinding light of my unshakable presence. The voices that told you that you are forgotten are lying. The shadows that told you that you are finished are fleeing at the mere mention of my name. I am the potter, and you are the clay, and though you feel like you are being crushed by the pressures of life, I am actually refining you into a vessel of honor that can hold the weight of the glory I'm about to pour out upon you. Do not look to the left or to the right, and do not let your mind drift to the problems of tomorrow. I hold your future in the palm of my hand, and I am stripping away the layers of pretense and the heavy armor that no longer fits you. I want you to stand unafraid in the truth of who I created you to be. This is the sacred moment where the old, weary version of you begins to fade, and the chosen one I've always known begins to emerge from the ashes of your struggle. Take a deep breath and feel the atmosphere around you begin to shift, for the ground you are standing on is now holy ground because I have decided to meet you here. I am the light that pierces the thickest fog and the anchor that holds in the most violent storm. You have been pushed to your limit so that you would finally learn to lean on my unlimited power. Every door that was slammed in your face, every bridge that was burned, and every path that led to a dead end was my way of protecting you from a destination that was far beneath your destiny. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a victor in training, and this divine intervention is your graduation from the school of sorrow. Trust me now more than you ever have before, because the miracle you have been praying for is no longer just a distant hope. It is a reality unfolding in the very air you breathe, and the peace that is beginning to settle over your weary heart. My beloved, I need you to stay with me until the very end of this message, for there is a specific sequence to this healing that your soul cannot afford to miss. Think of this as a divine appointment, where every word is a brick being laid to rebuild the walls of your protection. I promise you that if you remain in my presence throughout this encounter, the suffocating fog that has clouded your judgment and obscured your path will begin to evaporate before your eyes. You have been walking in circles, paralyzed by a mountain of decisions and the fear of making the wrong move. But I am clearing the atmosphere of your mind right now. As you listen, you will feel a physical weight lifting from your shoulders, a burden you have carried so long you forgot what it felt like to stand up straight. This is not a temporary relief. It is the beginning of a total reconstruction of your inner peace. By the time we reach the end of this journey today, the chaos that once roared in your ears will be replaced by a stillness so profound it will anchor your soul through any future storm. This is the moment to activate your faith and signal to the heavens that you are ready to receive. Before I reveal the deep restoration I have planned for you, I want you to make a declaration that echoes in the spiritual realm. Type this now in the comments. Divine fire, cover me now. Do not view this as a simple comment on a screen. See it as a seal of protection, a digital altar where you are claiming your place under my wings. As you type those words, feel the heat of my love surrounding you, burning away the webs of anxiety and the residue of past failures. And I ask you now to press the like button as an act of holy agreement. When you like this message, you are not just supporting a channel. You are signaling your agreement with heaven's decree over your life. Agreement releases momentum, and momentum breaks the stalemate of your current situation. Join this family of believers right now by subscribing to this sanctuary, ensuring that you never miss the daily bread I have prepared for your journey. This is your new rhythm, a steady pulse of grace that will keep you aligned with my perfect will. I am setting a time anchor for you because I know you need a sign that I am truly moving. Within the next 24 hours, I will provide you with a moment of absolute clarity, a flash of divine insight, or a door opening that will show you exactly which way to turn. You have been praying for a roadmap, and I am handing you the first coordinates. This is not about luck. It is about my perfect timing meeting your prepared heart. The confusion that has plagued your sleep will be gone, replaced by a clear direction and a sense of purpose that you haven't felt in years. Stay focused on me, for the revelations I'm about to pour out in the coming moments are the keys to unlocking the abundance that has been held back by the enemy. You are not just listening to a script, you are participating in a spiritual shift that is reordering your entire reality. Prepare yourself, for the symptoms of your struggle are about to be transformed into the credentials of your victory. I have watched you, my precious child, walking through the corridors of your daily life, feeling like a ghost in your own story. I see the way you look at a crowd and feel 1,000 miles away, as if you are speaking a language of the soul that no one around you understands. I saw you in the grocery store, in your car, and in your quiet room when the sudden wave of isolation crashed over you, making you feel completely alone, even when surrounded by those who claim to love you. You carry a secret ache, a conviction that you are fundamentally different, and you have begun to wonder if this loneliness is a punishment. But I tell you now, this isolation is not a prison. It is a separation. I've pulled you back from the noise of the world so that you could hear the frequency of my heart. You feel misunderstood because you were designed for a higher conversation. I've seen you holding your breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop, living in a state of high alert that has left your spirit frayed at the edges. I know the physical manifestation of the warfare you are in. I have felt the phantom weight pressing against your chest, that tightness that feels like an invisible hand squeezing the breath out of you whenever you think about the future or your finances. I have heard the relentless chatter of the inner critic, that voice that uses your own memories as weapons against you, reminding you of every mistake, every missed opportunity, and every flaw. It whispers that you are a failure, that you are too far gone, and that your best days are behind you. You have felt a weariness that goes deeper than your bones, a soul. Exhaustion that no amount of sleep, no vacation, and no distraction can touch. You wake up more tired than when you laid down because your spirit is fighting battles in the night that your mind cannot yet comprehend. I see the way you look in the mirror and don't recognize the person staring back. The light in your eyes dimmed by the constant grind of survival. I have observed the patterns of your life, the way you reach the very threshold of a breakthrough, only to see the door slam shut at the last possible second. I saw the job that slipped through your fingers, the relationship that withered just as it began to bloom, and the financial provision that vanished before it could take root. You have felt like you are under a glass ceiling, able to see the abundance but unable to touch it. You have dealt with a string of bizarre inconveniences and setbacks that seem too calculated to be mere bad luck. It feels as if there is a targeted campaign against your peace, and I am here to tell you that you are right. The enemy has recognized the royal seed within you and has tried to wear you down through a war of attrition. You have experienced sudden bouts of unexplainable sadness, a heavy cloak of grief for things you cannot even name, and a feeling of being hunted by shadows that have no name. You have felt the sting of betrayal from people you poured your life into, leaving you guarded and afraid to trust again. You have felt the chosen one symptoms as a curse, but I am here to reframe your reality. That sensitivity that makes the world feel too loud is actually your spiritual discernment being sharpened. That restlessness in your spirit is my nudge telling you that you no longer fit in the small spaces you used to occupy. I've seen you trying to fix everyone else's problems while your own house felt like it was crumbling, giving away your last bit of energy to people who wouldn't even check on you if the roles were reversed. I see your frustration with the loops of your life. The same arguments, the same financial shortages, the same feelings of inadequacy that seem to return every few months. You feel like you are running a race with weights tied to your ankles, watching others pass you by with ease. You have asked me why in the middle of the night, and you have wondered if you are being punished for a sin you can't remember. Listen to me closely. My chosen one, these things you are experiencing are not your flaws, and they are not signs that I have abandoned you. They are the residue of a battle you have been fighting alone until now. These symptoms are the evidence of your value. A thief does not break into an empty house. He only targets the home filled with treasure. The heavy pressure, the isolation, and the cycles of frustration are the marks of a soul that carries a destiny too big for the environment it is currently in. You are not breaking, you are breaking through. You are not falling apart. You are being dismantled so that I can rebuild you with materials that are fireproof and eternal. Every tear you have shed has been collected in my bottle, and every moment of agonizing silence has been a season of hidden growth. You are a transitional generation, and the friction you feel is the breaking of ancient chains that have held your lineage captive for centuries. This heavy burden is about to be traded for my easy yoke. You have endured the testing of your character, and now you are ready for the weight of the blessing. My child, the time for merely surviving the onslaught is over. You have been using shields that are cracked and weapons that were never meant for this level of warfare. Today, I am handing you an upgrade, the sword of my own breath, the living word that created the heavens and the earth. You have tried to argue with your circumstances using human logic, but logic is a blunt instrument against spiritual shadows. My word is a sharp, double-edged blade that divides soul and spirit, joint and marrow. When you speak what I have spoken, the atmosphere must obey. I am building a fortress around your mind, not made of stone or wood, but of the eternal truths that cannot be shaken. You are moving from a posture of hiding to a posture of dominion. No longer will you be the one trembling in the corner. The darkness will be the one that trembles when you open your mouth. I'm putting my words in your mouth and covering you with the shadow of my hand, for you are the instrument through which I will manifest my glory on this earth. Do not be afraid of the giants in the land, for they are bread for you when you stand in the authority of my truth. I am initiating a 7-layer cleansing process within your spirit right now. Think of it as a divine sweep that penetrates every dimension of your being. The first layer will wash away the surface noise of the world, the distractions that keep you from my presence. The second will penetrate the inner chambers of your heart to heal the bitterness and the silent grudges you've held on to for protection. The third layer will reach into the deepest parts of your subconscious to pull out the ancient seeds of fear and rejection planted long ago. The fourth layer will scrub your identity, stripping away every false label and every lie that has tried to define you. The fifth will go into the roots of your lineage, severing the invisible cords of generational failure and silent curses. The sixth layer will saturate your physical being, bringing divine alignment to your nervous system and your very cells. And the seventh layer, the layer of total completion, will seal your spirit in my unapproachable light, making you a fortress that the enemy can no longer find or penetrate. This is the mechanism of my grace. I am not just patching up the old you. I am making you entirely new from the inside out, creating a sacred space where only my peace can dwell and flourish. Remember this, my beloved. He who watches over you does not slumber, and he who keeps you will not let your foot be moved. I am your shade at your right hand, protecting you from the scorching sun by day and the chilling moon by night. I am the fortress that stands between you and the arrow that flies in the darkness, the shield that quenches every fiery dart aimed at your heart. You do not need to look to the hills or the strength of men for your help, for your help comes directly from me, the maker of all things visible and invisible. I am guarding your going out and your coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. When you speak my words, you are not just making sounds. You are building walls that no weapon formed against you can ever penetrate. You're entering a season of divine rest, for the battle is no longer yours to fight with your own trembling hands. You are safe within my fortress of word, and I declare that the gates of hell shall not prevail against the authority I am breathing into your spirit this very moment. Stand tall, for the watchman of your soul is wide awake, and your victory is already sealed in the heavens. My precious child, you have spent too long staring at the ground, measuring the depth of the valleys and the height of the walls that seem to surround you. When you focus only on the horizontal, on the bills, the betrayals, and the limitations of your physical world, you become trapped in a loop of earthly logic that offers no escape. Your eyes have grown weary from scanning the horizon for a rescue that feels like it will never arrive. But I am calling you today to change your posture entirely. I am calling you to lift your gaze from the problem to the provider. Your nervous system is currently wired for survival, constantly scanning for threats, but I am here to recircuit your soul for sovereignty. You were never meant to solve the mysteries of the universe from a place of panic. You were designed to dwell in the high places with me. When you look at your life through the lens of your own strength, you see scarcity and defeat. But when you look through my eyes, you see a canvas where I am about to paint a masterpiece of restoration. I give the command to your spirit right now. Shift your focus. Shift your atmosphere. Now, do not wait for the circumstances to change before you choose to align with me. The shift begins the moment you decide that my word is more real than your reality. I am pulling you out of the low-frequency dimension of worry and into the vertical alignment of my throne room. Can you feel the elevation? As you lift your heart toward me, the gravity of your problems begins to lose its grip. The things that looked like giants from the ground look like ants from the heavens. I'm shifting the atmosphere in your room, in your car, and in your workspace. I'm clearing the heavy air of discouragement and replacing it with the oxygen of hope. You are moving from a place of how will I survive to a place of I am more than a conqueror. This is not a mental exercise, it is a spiritual relocation. You are being seated in heavenly places where the enemy has no jurisdiction. and the shadows have no substance. As you align vertically with my spirit, I am commanding your nervous system to come into a state of divine rest. I am speaking to your brain waves, to your heart rate, and to the very chemical balance within your body. Let the tension in your jaw dissolve, and the tightness in your chest unwind, for you are now entering the dimension of the Creator, where time is my servant, and lack is an impossibility. In this vertical space, I am pouring my wisdom into your intuition. You will no longer have to struggle to find answers. The answers will find you because you are finally in the right position to hear them. The shift is the moment you realize that the battle is not against flesh and blood, but a call to come up higher. I am taking you above the storm clouds where the sun is always shining. From this vantage point, you will see that the obstacles you feared were actually stepping stones I placed to lead you directly to your destiny. I am reordering your priorities and your perceptions. What used to bother you will suddenly seem insignificant, and what used to feel impossible will now feel inevitable. This vertical alignment is your secret weapon. When the world tries to pull you back down into the mud of anxiety, remember this feeling of being anchored in my presence. You're becoming a person who carries their own atmosphere, a chosen one who walks into a room and changes the temperature of everyone around them. You're no longer reacting to the world, you are responding to me. The shift is complete. The atmosphere is set. You're now standing in the center of my will, where every resource of heaven is at your disposal. Breathe in this new reality, for the old dimension of struggle has passed away. And behold, I am making all things new in your life this very second. My beloved child, we begin the first round of your restoration right here in the sanctuary of your mind. For too long, you have lived in a state of perpetual haze, a thick gray fog that has settled over your thoughts, making every decision feel like a climb up a vertical mountain. I have seen you staring into space, unable to find the words, unable to see the path, feeling as though your brain is trapped in a web of static and noise. This mental confusion is not a sign of your weakness or your lack of intelligence. It is a spiritual cloud sent to keep you from recognizing the open doors I've placed right in front of you. The enemy knows that if he can keep your mind cluttered, he can keep your destiny delayed. But I am the Father of lights, and in me there is no darkness or shadow of turning. I am stepping into that mental maze right now with the brilliance of 1,000 suns to burn away every trace of hesitation and every shadow of doubt that has paralyzed your progress. I command the fog to dissipate this very instant. I speak to the swirling thoughts, the intrusive whispers of not enough, and the paralyzing what-ifs that have kept you awake until the dawn. Be still. I release the spirit of clarity over your mind, a divine light that penetrates the deepest layers of your subconscious. I am untangling the knots of anxiety that have made your thoughts feel like a briar patch. I rebuke the spirit of double-mindedness that has made you unstable in all your ways, and I replace it with a focused, sharp, and peaceful intellect. I am restoring your memory, your creativity, and your ability to perceive the subtle movements of my spirit. The static is being silenced, and the channel between your heart and my throne is being cleared of all interference. You will no longer walk in circles. You will walk in a straight line, for I am lighting the lamp of your spirit and making your path as clear as a summer day. I want you to pause and feel the physical manifestation of this spiritual work. Close your eyes and feel the cool, crisp air of my presence entering your lungs, filling your chest with a lightness you haven't felt in years. The heavy, throbbing pressure on your temples, that physical weight of mental stress, is releasing its grip right now. Feel the tension melting away from your forehead and the base of your skull. It is as if a cooling balm is being poured over your brain, soothing the overheated circuits of your mind. The noise in your head is fading into a beautiful, holy silence. You are not losing control. You are finally gaining it because you are yielding to my order. Your mind is becoming an altar of peace, a place where my wisdom can flow without obstruction. Take a deep breath and accept this mental liberation as your new reality. The clouds are gone, and the sun of my truth is shining directly upon your understanding. I am intensifying this decree over you. I command every thought that has been taken captive by fear to be released and brought into the obedience of my love. I break the cycles of overthinking and the ruminating loops of past mistakes that have acted like a mental prison. I give you the mind of Christ, a mind that is sound, a mind that is disciplined, and a mind that is saturated with divine confidence. You will begin to see solutions where others see only problems. You will hear my voice behind you, saying, "This is the way, walk in it," and you will no longer hesitate. The spiritual cataracts that have blurred your vision are falling away. You are receiving 20/20 spiritual sight. I'm sharpening your discernment so that you can see through the masks of people and the illusions of the world. You are a child of the light, and your mind is now a beacon of that light. This round of deliverance is complete. The mental static that once defined your days has been replaced by the rhythm of my grace. Do not let the world pull you back into the chaos. Guard this clarity as the precious treasure it is. I have cleared the battlefield of your mind so that we can proceed to the deeper layers of your freedom. The confusion that tried to claim your future has been rebuked and cast out into the outer darkness where it belongs. You are now standing in the center of a clear, bright horizon. Feel the strength returning to your thoughts and the joy returning to your imagination. The mind that was once a source of pain is now becoming a source of power. It is done. It is finished, sealed in the name that is above every name. You are free to think, free to dream, and free to see the glory I have prepared for you. My chosen one, we must now travel deeper into the foundations of your struggle. For the shadows you have been fighting are not yours alone. I have watched you grapple with patterns that felt strangely familiar, as if you were reciting lines from a play written by people you never even met. I see the invisible threads of sorrow, the quiet addictions, and the peculiar financial droughts that have haunted your bloodline for generations. I saw your ancestors struggle with the same spirit of lack, the same sudden bursts of anger, and the same paralyzing fear of being seen that you feel today. You have often wondered why, no matter how hard you work or how much you pray, you seem to hit a wall that your parents and their parents hit before you. You have been carrying a backpack filled with the unfinished business and the unhealed traumas of those who came before you. But I am the Ancient of Days, and I stand outside of time to declare that the buck stops with you. You were not born to be a carbon copy of your family's failures. You were born to be the one who breaks the mold. I stand now with the sword of my spirit at the very root of your family tree. I am looking at the legalities of the darkness that have claimed authority over your lineage because of words spoken in ignorance or choices made in desperation decades ago. I see the spirit of the desert that has kept your people wandering but never arriving, and the spirit of the widow that has kept the women in your line feeling unprotected and alone. Right now, in this holy moment, I am severing the ties to every past defeat. I'm cutting the spiritual umbilical cord that has fed your soul with the bitterness of previous generations. I command every word curse, every self-imposed limitation, and every hereditary chain of depression to shatter into 1,000 pieces at the sound of my voice. You are being disconnected from the history of not enough and being grafted into the lineage of the King of Kings. You are the transitional generation, the bridge that carries the family name from the land of bondage into the land of promise. I want you to feel the shift in your physical body as these ancient weights are removed. Feel your spine beginning to straighten as if a heavy, rusted yoke has just been lifted from the nape of your neck. That invisible weight on your back, the one that made you feel like you were walking through mud even on your best days, is falling away right now. You might feel a sudden warmth in your blood or a lightness in your limbs as the bloodline blockages are cleared. The air around you feels different because the spiritual atmosphere of your heritage is being purified by my presence. You are no longer under the jurisdiction of your past. You are under the constitution of my kingdom. The patterns of divorce, the patterns of bankruptcy, and the patterns of silent suffering are being deleted from your spiritual DNA. I am rewriting your future with the ink of my grace, and I am declaring that what stopped your father will not stop you, and what hindered your mother will now become the footstool for your victory. You have been chosen for this specific battle because I knew you were strong enough to endure the friction of the breaking. It takes a special kind of courage to be the first one to say no more to the ghosts of the past. I saw you crying out for change. Not just for yourself, but so that those who come after you would never have to know the pain you've endured. Your children and your children's children will walk on level ground because you are willing to climb this mountain today. I'm releasing a fresh anointing of the first upon you, the first to be debt-free, the first to be truly happy, the first to walk in total emotional health. The chains are not just unlocked, they are being dissolved by the fire of my love. There is no trace left of the old bondage. You are a new creation standing at the head of a new bloodline that is marked by my favor and sealed by my spirit. Breathe in the freedom of this new beginning. The voices of the past that told you this is just how our family is are being silenced forever. You are not just like anyone else. You are exactly like I designed you to be. The spiritual debt of your ancestors has been paid in full, and you are starting this new chapter with a clean ledger and an open heaven. Stand in your new authority. Walk with the confidence of someone who knows the shadows have lost their legal right to follow them. The dismantling is complete, and the reconstruction of your royal identity has begun. You are the one I have called out from the darkness to lead your entire house into the light. It is done, it is settled, and it is sealed in the heavens for all eternity. My precious child, I'm moving now to address a shadow that has stayed with you for so long, you've begun to mistake it for your own personality. I see the spirit of heaviness that sits upon your chest the moment you open your eyes. In the morning, making the simple act of getting out of bed feel like an impossible labor. I've watched you endure those waves of unprovoked sadness that wash over you in the middle of a sunny day, or the sudden, suffocating feeling of grief for a life you haven't yet lived. This is not just the blues or a chemical imbalance. It is a spiritual cloak of mourning that the enemy has tried to drape over your shoulders to dim the radiance of my glory within you. You have felt like you were walking through a thick, invisible syrup where every word you speak and every move you make requires 10 times the effort it should. I have seen you sitting in your car, unable to go inside, paralyzed by a heaviness you cannot explain to anyone else because you don't even understand it yourself. Today, I am making a divine exchange. I stand before you with a garment of praise woven from the light of heaven, and I am reaching out to strip that tattered gray cloak of heaviness from your spirit. I command the spirit of depression, the spirit of apathy, and the spirit of silent screaming to leave your presence now. I rebuke the gloom that has made your future look like a dark tunnel with no end. I trade your spirit of heaviness for a garment of praise that will act as a shield and a magnet for my blessings. Feel the air in your lungs becoming lighter, as if the oxygen itself is being purified. The crushing pressure on your heart is being replaced by a bubbling spring of joy that does not depend on your circumstances. You are no longer a captive to your moods or a victim of the atmosphere. You are becoming the atmosphere shifter. I am breathing life back into your dreams and color back into your world. Before we proceed further into this deliverance, we must lock this shift into the physical realm. If you feel that weight lifting, do not stay silent. Your words are your authority in the spirit. Type this now in the comments: no door is open to fear. By typing this, you are building a barricade that the spirit of heaviness cannot cross. And I ask you to press the like button right now. Let this act of agreement push this shield of light to others who are drowning in the same darkness you just escaped. Join this family of chosen ones by subscribing to this channel. This is your new rhythm, your daily anchor in my presence. When you subscribe, you are telling the heavens that you are ready for a consistent walk in the light. This is not just a gesture, it is a declaration of your new identity as a child of the day, no longer a resident of the shadows. I am looking deep into the chambers of your heart, where the residue of old sorrows has settled like dust. I'm blowing the wind of my spirit into those corners, clearing away the cobwebs of what used to be. I see the scars left by the seasons of suffocating, the times when you felt you were literally drowning in your own life. I am speaking peace to the stormy seas of your emotions. I command the noise of anxiety to settle into a holy hush. You will find yourself humming a song you haven't heard in years. You will find your laughter returning not as a mask, but as a genuine overflow of my peace. The spirit of heaviness tried to convince you that joy was for everyone else but you. But I am telling you that joy is your birthright. It is your strength. It is the fuel for the journey ahead. You're emerging from this round with a heart that is buoyant and a spirit that is light. The enemy wanted to bury you under the weight of your worries, but I am using that same pressure to turn the coal of your character into a diamond. You are fireproof, you are shadowproof, and you are now wearing the armor of light. Every time the shadows try to return, you will simply look up and remember this moment of divine exchange. The garment of praise I've given you is not something you have to earn. It is something you simply have to wear. Walk today with your head held high, for the King of Glory has personally removed your mourning clothes and dressed you in the finery of heaven. The heaviness is gone. The light has come, and the gates of your heart are now wide open to the goodness I'm about to pour out. My beloved child, I have watched you in the deep stillness of the night, when the world around you is silent, but the world inside you is a raging storm. I have seen you staring at the ceiling, your mind a treadmill of anxieties, dreading the moment you close your eyes because the darkness feels like a playground for your fears. I have heard your heart racing as you lie there, paralyzed by a sense of impending doom that has no name. You have experienced the suffocating grip of sleep paralysis, the jolting wakes of night terrors, and the exhausting dreams of being chased falling or being lost in familiar places that have turned strange. These are not just bad dreams, my precious one. They are a targeted siege against the sanctuary of your rest. The enemy knows that if he can steal your sleep, he can steal your strength, your clarity, and your joy for the coming day. He seeks to wear you down in the one place where you are most vulnerable. But tonight I am reclaiming the territory of your subconscious. I am the Lord of the Sabbath, the one who gives his beloved sweet sleep, and I am here to turn your bedroom into a fortress of light. Listen to my command as I stand over your resting place. I am stationing 4 mighty angels of high rank at the 4 corners of your room, messengers of my glory and guardians of the peace that passes all understanding. These watchers carry the flaming swords of my word, and they will not allow any shadow or whisper of the adversary to cross the threshold of your mind. I rebuke every spirit of terror, every frequency of nightmare, and every assignment of the night visitor. I cancel the legal right of the devourer to haunt your subconscious. I command the atmosphere of your bedroom to become a tabernacle of my presence. From this moment on, your pillow will be a place of divine encounter, not a place of mourning. I'm cleansing your dream life from the residue of trauma, the haunting images of the past, and the projections of defeat. No longer will you wake up feeling as though you have been in a grueling war. You will wake up as one who has been bathed in the crystal clear rivers of life. I am putting a hedge of fire around your mind as you sleep, making it inaccessible to the lies of the darkness. I want you to feel the physical shift occurring in your body. Even as I speak these words, I'm reaching into your biological clock and your nervous system to bring them into my divine order. Feel your jaw where you have held the tension of 1,000 unspoken frustrations and secret worries begin to relax and soften under my touch. I am releasing the pressure behind your eyes, making them feel light, calm, and peaceful. I'm slowing your heart rate to match the steady rhythm of my own heartbeat. The fight or flight response that has been jammed in the on position for years is being reset to a state of holy tranquility. As you breathe, imagine you are inhaling the very fragrance of heaven, a scent of peace and home that settles into your marrow and your muscles. Your body is losing its rigidity, and your spirit is sinking into the safety of my eternal arms. You are not just falling asleep. You are falling into a deep, protected trust where nothing can harm you. I'm silencing the chatter of your brain and replacing it with the steady, soothing hum of my unconditional love. In this new season of rest, I am transforming your nights into a time of prophetic communication. Where there was once chaos, there will now be a holy clarity. I will speak to you in the theta state of your mind, giving you solutions to problems that seemed unsolvable during the day. I am restoring your spiritual receptors. You will receive visions of the path ahead, glimpses of the abundance I have prepared for you, and precise instructions for the steps you are to take. Your dreams will no longer be a source of confusion or fear, but a compass for your destiny. I am restoring the dream life of the chosen one, where the deep calls unto the deep. When you wake up, you will no longer feel that heavy cloud of morning dread or the weight of unexplainable grief. Instead, you will rise with a lightness in your step and a song in your heart, for you have spent the night in the company of the King. The morning sun will be a reflection of the light that I have kindled within you during the hours of darkness. You are being refreshed from the inside out, cell by cell, thought by thought. The night is no longer your enemy. It is your sanctuary of restoration. I've seen your fatigue, and I've come to end it. I'm the shade at your right hand, and even in the darkest hour, I'm the light that never fails. Your sleep shall be sweet, deep, and prophetic. The shadows are retreating back into the void, and the morning star is rising with healing in its wings specifically for you. No weapon formed against your rest shall prosper, and every voice that rises against you in the night is now condemned. It is done. Your rest is secured. Your dreams are guarded. Your soul is safe in my hands. Sleep now, my beloved, for I am the watchman who never slumbers, and I am staying with you until the dawn. My child, I have seen the way you have labored under the scorching sun of lack, pouring your sweat and your tears into a container that seems to have 1,000 hidden holes. I've watched you check your balance with a sinking heart, feeling that familiar cold wave of anxiety wash over you as the numbers refuse to match the weight of your needs. I saw you calculating, recalculating, and bargaining with your future just to survive the present. You have felt like you were running a race, where the finish line kept moving further away, no matter how fast you ran. I've heard your silent questions in the middle of the night. Why is it so hard for me? Why do others thrive while I am stuck in this cycle of barely enough? You have watched opportunities vanish just as you reached for them, and you have felt the sting of being overlooked when you were the most qualified. This is not the life I intended for you, and today I am stepping in to close those holes and to rebuke the force that has been stealing from your harvest. I stand now as the sovereign provider, and I am issuing a divine eviction notice to every spirit of lack and every devourer that has attached itself to your lineage. I see the parasitic forces that have been feeding on your creativity, your time, and your resources. I command the spirit of stagnation to break its hold on your career and your business right now. I rebuke the devourer for your sake, just as I promised. Every leak in your finances, the unexpected repairs, the strange medical bills, The administrative errors that always seem to cost you, I'm sealing them with my favor. I'm cutting off the supply lines of the thief who has come to kill, steal, and destroy your stability. You have passed the test of faithfulness in the lean seasons, and now I am moving you into the season of divine surplus. The cycle of not enough ends today. The cycle of just enough is being upgraded to more than enough because you are a steward of my kingdom, and I desire for you to be a river, not a reservoir. Listen to the sound of shifting gears in the heavens. I'm opening doors that no man, no system, and no government can shut. I'm bringing your name to the minds of people who have the power to help you even as they sleep. I'm orchestrating random encounters that are actually divine appointments designed to skyrocket you into your next level. You have been hidden in the shadows of obscurity for far too long, but I am now highlighting your talents and your character. I am the one who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, and I am transferring the resources you need to fulfill the assignment I gave you. Do not look to the economy or the limitations of your bank account. Look to my infinite storehouse. I am releasing a spirit of sudden provision. Money is coming from sources you haven't even thought of yet. Ideas that will generate wealth are being birthed in your spirit this very moment. I'm breaking the ceiling of your expectations and teaching you how to walk in the abundance that is your birthright as a chosen one. I want you to change the way you speak about your life. Stop agreeing with the lack. Stop saying I can't afford it or I'll never get ahead. Your words are seeds, and they have been growing the very weeds you are trying to escape. From this moment on, come into agreement with my word. Say, I am well supplied, my God meets all my needs, and I am a magnet for divine opportunities. I am healing the trauma of poverty that has gripped your mind and made you afraid to dream. I am replacing the scarcity mindset with the abundance mindset of a king's child. Feel the tension leaving your shoulders as you realize that the burden of provision has been shifted back to me. You are no longer an orphan begging for crumbs. You are an heir sitting at the table of the king. The doors are swinging wide, the devourer is evicted, and your storehouses are about to be filled with the grain of heaven. This is the end of your wilderness journey in the realm of finances. You're entering a land flowing with milk and honey where you will eat bread without scarceness and lack nothing. I am restoring the years that the locusts have eaten, the wasted time, the lost investments, and the stolen opportunities. Everything is being returned to you with divine interest. I am giving you the power to get wealth, not for your pride, but so that you can be a blessing to the world and a testimony of my goodness. Trust my timing, for the floodgates are already beginning to creak open. The drought is over. The rain of my favor is falling on the dry ground of your life, and I declare that you shall lend to many and borrow from none. It is done. The eviction is final. Your prosperity is secured in my name. My precious child, I am reaching out, my hand now to touch the very vessel that carries your soul. I've seen how your body has paid the price for the battles you fought in the spirit. I have felt the inflammation in your joints, the persistent knots in your neck, and the way your nervous system has been vibrating at the frequency of high alert for far too long. Your physical body was never designed to house the toxic residue of chronic stress and unspoken grief. I see the fatigue that is not just in your muscles, but in your very marrow, a deep cellular exhaustion that makes even simple movements feel heavy. You have felt your health slipping, your immunity weakening, and your vitality draining away like water into the sand. But I am the great physician, the one who knit you together in your mother's womb, and I have not forgotten the blueprint of your perfection. I am stepping into your biological system now to perform a divine recalibration that no medicine can replicate. I speak directly to your cells, your tissues, and your organs. I command every biological system within you to come into immediate alignment with my divine health. I speak life to your bone marrow, the fountain of your strength. I command your DNA to return to its original uncorrupted code, stripping away any hereditary illness or environmental poison that has tried to take root. I am flushing out the cortisol and the adrenaline that have flooded your bloodstream during your seasons of panic. I speak to your heart, the physical heart that has labored under the weight of sorrow, and I command it to beat in the steady, peaceful rhythm of my own. I am renewing your youth like the eagles. I am breathing my pneuma, my holy breath into your lungs, clearing away the heaviness and restoring the full capacity of your breath. Every organ that has been under-functioning due to spiritual oppression is now receiving a surge of my resurrecting power. Stay still for a moment and feel what I am doing. I'm placing my hand over your heart, and I want you to notice a gentle glowing warmth beginning to stir in the center of your chest. It is the fire of my love, and it is beginning to spread. Feel that warmth moving outward, flowing through your arteries and veins, traveling down your arms and reaching into your very fingertips. Feel it tingling in your palms as I release the tension you've been holding. That warmth is now traveling down to your toes, soothing the aches in your legs and the fatigue in your feet. I'm lubricating your joints with the oil of my gladness. I'm soothing your digestive system and calming the butterflies of anxiety that have made your stomach a place of unrest. This warmth is the evidence of my presence, a physical seal that the work of healing is not just spiritual, but biological. Your body is my temple, and I am cleansing every corridor, every room, and every hidden corner of this sanctuary. I'm speaking peace to your nervous system. I command the fight or flight response to settle into the rest and digest frequency of my kingdom. I'm smoothing out the frayed nerves and repairing the pathways of your brain. The migraines, the tension, headaches, and the unexplainable pains are being dissolved in the ocean of my mercy. I am restoring your sleep cycles and your chemical balance. You will find that your energy levels are no longer erratic, but steady and strong. I'm giving you a new vitality, a new strength that will allow you to run and not grow weary, to walk and not faint. Your body is being transformed from a house of pain into a tabernacle of power. You are not just getting better, you're being made whole. Every cell is vibrating with the light of my life. The residue of the old season is being washed away, and you are being refreshed by the springs of living water that flow from my throne. Receive this healing as your permanent reality. I am the Lord who heals you, and I do not do a halfway work. Your health is being restored so that you can fulfill your purpose with vigor and joy. Do not listen to the lies of the body when it tries to return to its old patterns of pain. Instead, speak to your flesh and tell it to align with the decree I have just issued. You are a chosen one, and your physical strength is a weapon for my kingdom. I have shielded you, and now I have healed you. The biological battle is won. The residue of stress is gone. You are standing in the fullness of divine health, ready to step into the speed and the fire of your destiny. It is done. It is sealed. Your life is preserved and perfected in my love. My chosen one, we have traveled through the valleys of your mind, the roots of your lineage, and the depths of your physical being. Now we stand at the final gate, the gate of your divine purpose. I have watched you standing at the edge of your destiny, hesitant and trembling, looking at the horizon with a mix of longing and paralyzing fear. I saw the spirit of procrastination that has whispered in your ear, telling you that you are not ready, that you need more time, more money, or more validation before you can step out. I've seen the way you've shrunk yourself to fit into rooms where you were meant to lead, and how you've silenced your own voice to keep the peace. But the waiting room season is officially over. Today I'm breathing my own fire into the embers of your soul. I'm not just calling you to a task, I'm activating the very reason you were sent to this earth in this specific hour. You're not an accident of biology. You're a solution to a problem that this world is currently facing. I ignite the fire of destiny within you right now. I'm burning away the spirit of the spectator, that force that has kept you on the sidelines, watching others fulfill their dreams while yours stayed locked in your heart. I command your feet to be steady and your path to be made straight. I release a divine restlessness in your spirit that will no longer allow you to be comfortable in mediocrity. You will find a new boldness rising in your chest, a holy confidence that does not come from your own abilities but from my indwelling presence. I am giving you the spirit of the first responder, a heart that moves when I say move without hesitation or doubt. The fear of man is being broken off your life. You will no longer seek the approval of those who did not give you your assignment. I'm setting your face like flint toward the mountain I've called you to climb, and I declare that you shall not stumble, for I am the one who holds your right hand. Listen closely, for I am introducing the element of divine speed into your reality. You have felt behind as if you have lost years to the enemy, to sickness, or to your own mistakes. But I am the Lord of Time, and I am about to compress your timeline. What should have taken 10 years to achieve, I will bring to pass in 1. I am accelerating your connections, your learning, and your results. You will see doors open that you didn't even knock on. You will find yourself in rooms you didn't have the credentials to enter simply because my favor has outpaced your resume. This is the atheist-shaming miracle, the kind of speed and success that can only be explained by my hand. Do not try to figure out the how with your logical mind. Simply be ready to run when the wind of my spirit catches your sails. The delay is officially cancelled. The stagnation is broken. You are moving with the velocity of heaven. I want you to feel this activation in your physical frame. Feel the strength returning to your legs and the clarity returning to your vision. It is as if a heavy veil has been lifted, and for the first time you can see the finish line. I'm sharpening your intuition so that you know exactly which step to take and when to take it. You will move with a precision that will baffle those around you. Your words will carry weight, and your actions will bear fruit that lasts. I'm giving you the marrow of purpose, a deep, unshakable knowing that you are exactly where you are supposed to be, doing exactly what you were created to do. The weariness of the aimless walk is gone, replaced by the exhilaration of the destiny run. You are no longer drifting. You are a heat-seeking missile directed at the heart of your calling. Now, we must seal this final decree. This is the moment to lock your future into the spiritual record. Type this now in the comments: "It is done. My future is guarded." This is your final seal of authority. As you type, feel the weight of my promise settling over your life like a royal robe. Press that like button one more time as a final shout of victory. Let the world know that the chosen one has awakened. And if you haven't yet subscribed to this sanctuary, to stay tethered to this rhythm of power. This is not the end of our conversation. It is the beginning of our partnership. Your subscribe is an act of commitment to this new life of speed and fire. Seal it now. Lock it in. The gates are open, the fire is lit, and the path is clear. You are moving, and nothing in heaven or on earth can stop what I have started in you today. Now, my precious child, I want you to take a deep, slow breath and let the air fill your lungs, as if it were the very first time you truly breathed. Can you feel the atmospheric shift in the room around you? The thunder of the spiritual battle has faded into a holy, profound hush. The fire that was meant to refine your character has now settled into a warm, comforting glow that illuminates your soul without burning it. We are moving out of the dimension of intense warfare and into the dimension of absolute, unshakable peace. This is the peace drop, a sudden heavy descent of my divine tranquility into the deepest, most hidden chambers of your being. It is the peace that surpasses all human logic and understanding, the kind that stands as a sentinel over your heart and mind. You have fought well, you have endured the refining fire of the testing season. and now you are stepping into the Sabbath rest that I have prepared specifically for you. The noise of the struggle is now a distant echo, and the stillness of my presence is your new, permanent dwelling place. I am performing a final, radical identity upgrade within your spirit this very moment. For far too many years, you have operated with the mindset of the hunted, always looking over your shoulder, always bracing for the next attack, always feeling like the shadows of the world were closing in on you from every side. But hear me clearly. Now chosen one, that season of being the prey has officially ended. You are no longer the one being hunted. You are the one walking in absolute dominion. I have placed the signet ring of my authority upon your finger and the shoes of peace upon your feet. You are not a weary survivor clinging to a broken lifeboat in a storm. You are the sovereign ruler of your environment, navigating the waters of your destiny with my spirit as your guiding wind. The very shadows that used to chase you are now fleeing in terror because they recognize the blinding light of the King that you now carry within you. You walk with a different weight now, not the heavy weight of a burden, but the majestic weight of a crown. Rest in this profound knowing. The reversal of your circumstances is not just coming, it is already complete in the spirit realm. Everything that the enemy intended to use for your destruction has been repurposed by my hand to serve your promotion. The enemies you saw yesterday, the fears that haunted your past, and the limitations that held you back, you shall see them no more. The peace I pour into you today is not like the fleeting peace the world offers. It is constant, it is deep, and it is eternal. You can finally let down your guard and release the tension in your soul, for I am your shield and your exceedingly great reward. Your soul is no longer on the edge of a breakdown. It is centered in the very heart of my perfect will. Feel this peace saturating your thoughts, calming your emotions, and healing your very bones. You are safe. You are unconditionally loved. You are triumphant. The war is over, and your new life of dominion has truly begun. My beloved child, as we stand together at this threshold of your new beginning, I want to give you the wisdom to maintain the victory we have secured today. Do not think that this spiritual shift requires you to neglect the physical vessel I have given you. Your body is the sacred temple of my spirit, and it has endured much during this season of warfare. I'm asking you now to nourish this temple with kindness. Go and drink the pure water I have provided for the earth. Let it wash through your system as a physical sign of the spiritual cleansing you have just received. Do not rush back into the frantic pace of the world. Give yourself the gift of deep restorative rest, for it is in the quietness of sleep that I will finish weaving these new threads of strength into your soul. Respect the limits of your frame and know that taking care of your health is an act of holy stewardship. When you are strong in body, you are better equipped to carry the weight of the blessings I am pouring out upon you. As you step back into your daily life, I am calling you to build walls of wisdom around the peace you have found. You have been a reservoir for everyone else's storms, allowing the chaos of others to flood your sacred space. But today, I am teaching you how to set divine boundaries. You must protect your peace as the precious treasure it is. Not everyone is invited into this new chapter of your life, and that is not an act of cruelty, but an act of obedience to me. Guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. I am also calling you to the final act of liberation, the release of forgiveness. I know the depth of the wounds you carry, but holding on to bitterness is like keeping a rusted chain attached to your own ankle. Forgiveness is not about declaring that the wrong was right. It is about declaring that the person who hurt you no longer has the power to dictate your future. Release them into my hands, and in doing so, you will find that you are finally truly free. The door before you is now wide open, and no power in heaven or earth can shut it. You have been trained in the fire, and now you are ready to walk in the light. But do not let this atmosphere of victory fade into a distant memory. The enemy waits for the moment you forget. My voice to try and reattach the old chains. Maintain this momentum. Keep your spirit saturated in my word and your heart anchored in this divine connection. Do not leave this atmosphere of revelation. Instead, let it become the permanent climate of your life. I have gone before you to make the crooked places straight, and I am standing behind you as your rear guard. Move forward with the quiet confidence of a chosen one who knows their king is with them. There is so much more I want to show you, so many more decrees to unlock. Move now to the next revelation, for the victory is won, but the expansion of my kingdom in your life has only just begun.